All right, welcome to Victory, the podcast. I'm Doug Ellin. We're going to talk. Oh.
No, I'm Kevin Dillon, by the way, but don't worry about me. No.
Let's start that from the top, Doug. This isn't ramble on. Here we go.
Welcome to Victory, the podcast. I'm Doug Ellin.
And I'm Kevin Dillon.
I can't believe we're still saying our names on episode 875, but I am Kevin Connolly.
over there.
Never know. You never know when you're going to be replaced.
Season
Yeah,
4.
we could think about replacing you.
That'll be good. I'll
Get
go back to
Adrian
the
in
booth. I'll go back to the booth.
Remember those days?
Yeah.
Remember when he wouldn't come out of the booth?
Yeah, weird, right?
Now, today we're going to do Season 4, Episode 5, The Dream Team, which, we were laughing hysterically, but I also can read Doug, and I know that you did not love this episode, correct, Doug?
No, it was good. I mean, I did not love it. Nah, I didn't love it.
I didn't love it.
It was
I
all right.
didn't love it either.
I just, it's kind of a weak story, this hat thing.
It felt different in other episodes.
Yeah,
didn't
something about it felt a little off.
maybe
Dillon's performance kind of makes that storyline work, and then the stuff with you and Reese that was hilarious to me. Like everything that was coming out of you.
Yeah,
and
I
Reese's
want to
mouth.
get the hat, so I'm cool, and
Yeah.
people think I'm younger on the set. It's just, it was, and I, bug out.
Yeah,
I just get high and I flip out. But
I think
it was
that's
a weird storyline. But people really did like that storyline.
But I think there's an interesting. I got a lot of messages, by the way, that this was people's favorite.
People
episode.
love this episode.
But you know what it is? There's things sometimes which look, that's the way it is. There's some things where they're so well written that a lot of actors could do stuff, and then in my opinion, only my opinion, there's some things that the episode was kind of bad, but Dillon, you're just so funny that, it's weird, though. I'm surprised because I know there was nothing about this episode. This feels like a storyline that you would have been like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I wasn't. I remember when I got the script, I didn't really like it.
You remember not liking it?
Yes, I didn't like it.
And
I was like,
I remember not taking your calls those weekends.
It's funny because, I know that you don't. I could just look over.
But
and
that
tell.
being said, there's things that are so great. So anyway, we'll get into that.
Let's get into that. We
after
got other
the
stuff.
break. But
We got other stuff.
What else we got?
Well, again, as we sitting here doing a free ad read, Dillon came in today with a Chick-fil-A mac and cheese.
I mean, this guy, by the way, what I'm realizing about Dillon, between the Cheetos and the mac and cheese,
I don't
he can
eat
live
good.
on cheese. No, I wasn't
I
going to
love
even.
cheese.
You love cheese.
I love cheese. I don't eat good. I got to eat better.
Dillon,
I really do. I got to eat
Dillon
better.
has the genetics from the heavens.
Yeah.
He's got the what is it? The metabolism.
Fast metabolism.
He's got
yeah.
a metabolism
I eat
from
a
the
lot.
gods.
But it's the Chick-fil-A, because I ate Chick-fil-A at the Atlanta airport 4 days ago, which I always enjoy.
So good.
But I didn't even see mac and cheese on the menu. So was it a good mac and cheese?
Yeah, they do a great mac and cheese. It's not as good as mine.
What is yours?
I
Tell
do
me
a
about
little
yours.
vermouth reduction.
what does that mean? Is that real?
Yeah.
What is
My
vermouth
mom-
What does
my
that
mom's.
mean? What does that mean?
It's like white wine. You could use white wine too, and you kind of.
It's like a splash.
You
You
cook
put
the
a
alcohol
no,
out.
no.
of it
You
for the most
understand the
part.
reduction, what that is?
Honestly,
chefs.
I'm super confused.
Yeah, it's like when you add wine to a bolognese or that
Right.
kind of thing.
But then
Okay.
you
You're
reduce
using-
it, and you're getting rid of the alcohol, so you're cooking
Yes,
off the alcohol.
but it's tricky because you're dealing with cream and butter and stuff like that, and cheese.
You know what
So
Connolly
it's kinda
should watch?
tricky.
I think you would enjoy it. I don't know. Do you ever watch? I think it's great. And Gordon Ramsay is sort of like
I love that guy.
Ari, but Master Chef is awesome, and it's a very simplistic
I love when
way.
he
of-
yells at people.
He's just mean.
I love his
He's
meanness.
like
when he
Ari.
yells
I
at
love his
people.
meanness. I
Why
know
are
it's
you
a-
an idiot?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
definitely an act.
I'm
but-
guessing that's why he's so popular, right? 'Cause
I
he
love
just
when he
fucking
berates
undresses people,
Yeah,
right?
I love that.
But I think I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, I've never met the guy. I think it's performance and it's an act.
he
and
looks tough too. Though.
He does
He
look
looks
tough.
like he could kick your ass.
Yeah,
you
yeah, he
know?
does.
They're
for
kind of a
sure.
big guy, right?
I think he's big. He looks like he's 6'1".
I've never
or
seen him
something.
live, but he looks big. But, in a simplistic way, you get really interesting learning about cooking a little bit. I like it. I like all those cooking shows. So
I just wish Chick-fil-A would be open on a Sunday.
Well, that's
it drives
what-
me crazy.
How
Blasphemy.
How are you in here with just the mac and cheese? So what did you?
I had a sandwich yesterday,
So you had a
last
sandwich
night.
last night.
So you'll go to Chick-fil-A and order enough food for the week.
No, it comes with
No,
the mac
I
and
wasn't
cheese.
really that hungry, so I just ate the sandwich and I saved this.
Yeah, but
Right.
you
It's
didn't
great.
think
and there
maybe,
it is on the table for free.
Yeah, it's my lunch today.
But you didn't think maybe, I'll get Kevin Doug a little something from.
Why would he got it last
It
night?
was yesterday. Actually, it was before I played golf. It was my pre-round golf meal.
So this sat in your car during golf, and now
It
made
did,
here.
yeah.
Oh my God, it's cheese. Are you out of your fucking mind?
No, it's good, man.
the way,
It's covered up. I mean,
It's covered
Not only
up.
that, it's not hot out, and he hasn't been. It's whatever. It's not like
Wait,
it's
wait.
not
Wait.
like he was in there for 4 days.
Hold on.
I'm with
I
you,
don't.
Dillon. I think it's okay.
I personally don't think there's anything on earth that can kill Kevin.
I will
Dillon.
drink the coffee.
Are you telling me
yesterday.
if I took a mac and cheese, sat it in my car all night in any temperature, and then handed it to you the next day, you'd eat it?
No, I would eat my mac and cheese in my
Okay,
car.
all right,
But
yeah.
who knows what happens with your car? In my car,
Yes.
in my car,
In
if
your
I
own
left a
car.
mac and cheese in my
And
car,
that
and
Tesla's tight. When you shut those doors, it seals tight.
I would like to.
It's not like flies.
I
are
would
going
like
in
to
there.
personally offer to go to Chick-fil-A and get you a fresh mac and cheese. I'm scared
Come
because
on, Doug, take one bite of this. Come
Never.
on.
Never,
gonna
never.
spoon
It's
feed
something
you.
that's left in the car overnight. Oh, no.
yeah, all right, let's also.
He's
get-
not going to do good in a survival situation. Doug, I don't think. He's like, I'm not
do
eating
they
that.
have Chick-fil-A in the survival situations?
What'd you guys do for Halloween?
Oh, Halloween, nothing.
That was last night, right?
Yeah.
I did nothing.
By the way, this is the first year in like 20 years. Everybody, I don't go out, as most of you know. I know you two know, but the Casamigos party, which is our
That's
friends.
usually when you go out and
That's
dress
the
like
only
a
night I go
complete
out.
psychopath.
Yeah. For 20 years, I've gotten, or 15, I've gotten forced to dress up. And this year I was out of town. We'll hopefully discuss where I was. I mean, I'm hoping that's going to get brought up.
Yeah.
Come
Pickleball,
on,
baby.
come on,
Pickleball.
Come on.
But I was not here, so I did not go out. But when I returned yesterday, Sarah had planned an outfit. So all I did for Halloween was spend 7 minutes dressing up and taking a photo. But
I went
You did dress up, though.
I dressed up as a
pickleball player, bro.
yeah. Well, Sarah. Oh, you're making fun of Sarah. Huh?
No, I'm not making fun of her. Who's
Well,
making fun of Sarah?
I didn't pick the outfit. So. Did you see her though? The baby bump was a pickleball. I thought it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I assumed you guys went out to some party. I went trick or treating.
Sarah went out. You
I
did.
went trick or treating. Can you imagine?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you shave, you look like a little kid.
You know,
got the size of some of those kids.
I just forgot what a shit show trick or treating is.
Where'd you go?
We were in Woodland Hills. It was a madhouse.
It's fun when you got a kid, though.
Yeah, but she's also not enough of a kid to
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you know
Not
it was,
enough of a kid.
it was
No,
more
she's
ceremonial
too young.
than anything else.
But the
there's
pictures
people
are
running
great.
around
Well,
like
it's
crazy.
fun. Malibu used to be great.
Yeah.
You
Right.
go to like Broad Beach or something. Everyone invites you into their house, and it's a glass of wine or a beer. It's so fun. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like
they
a
were
kid.
just-
Oh, no,
event.
it's
shots of
It's
tequila.
more about the
and-
adults. The
Kennedy got a
adults have more fun.
Snickers. Kennedy got a Snickers. I didn't see any wine. I would love to have had some. But
So, Connolly, I've gotten a lot of messages. You've dressed and humiliated your family and everybody else as Gilligan for the last 15 or 20 years,
Right.
which nobody even knows who the hell Gilligan is.
Right.
Supposedly, you were going to mix it up this year, and then I saw a picture online. You were the Bad News Bears, which you've already worn.
Yeah,
So you didn't come up with anything new.
no, I did not. I did not.
What, you were Kelly from the Bad News Bears?
No, he was fucking Lupus. Is that his name?
No,
the nerd.
Tanner Boyle. No, it's Kelly Leak. I was Kelly Leak. No, it wasn't. I was one of the Bad News Bears. But Olivia Miles, this is last season of Entourage, that was the best thing. She would, I would say, Olivia, come on, I need help with a Halloween costume. So when she turned over the Bad News Bears, it is as authentic. I mean, you could just stick me in a movie and put me on the field.
I mean-
That's how hardcore the uniform.
If they didn't recognize Gilligan, they're not going to know.
Yeah,
who
can I
you
tell
are
you
from
something
the Bad News
sad?
Bears.
Can I tell you something sad? And then I want to hear this. I was with a bunch of 30-year-olds at this pickleball thing, and the Bad News Bears happened to come up. I didn't know you were dressed as that. None of them knew this movie, which I'm not, and I love Billy Bob. I'm not talking Billy Bob Thornton.
We're
The original
talking-
Bad News
right.
Bears is
great.
one of the best
And
movies
Bad-
ever made.
and-
Walter
Comedies.
Matthau.
Right,
Yes.
but they also the one with Bad News Bears and Breaking Training. The ones in the 70s and the 80s were good movies.
Yeah, but the original first one is a
Right.
classic.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
so
But
go ahead on your
well, here's the
topic.
thing. I mean, Gilligan. Look, if you don't know who Gilligan is, because Zulai said the same thing. Zulai's like,
That's
listen,
crazy that people
they're-
don't know that.
They're not going to know Gilligan. They're not, because last year it was like finally not. I would say 1 or 2% of the people at the party knew that I was Gilligan. So I said, you know what? I just don't want to explain it. So she's like, you think anybody's going to know the Bad News Bears? I said, no, but if nothing else, I'm just a baseball player.
Oh, God, he's such a.
I'm a guy-
He's a
I'm a-
party. He's a party pooper. is
No,
what he
but
is.
I had to go.
I don't want to have to talk to people.
Well, I had to go to a party on Thursday, and I had to have like 3 costumes, which is ridiculous for a 48-year-old man.
Wait, what do you mean?
We went. I went. Zulai and I went to a party, and it was a dead disco party.
So what was
so
that
I had to
costume?
be like a
do you
disco
mean?
guy with my throat cut.
That's cool. I think
Yeah.
Throat cut.
A throat cut. So I have
a dead disco
It's a
party.
dead disco
I like
party.
it.
So I have a
like it.
giant cut on my
Sarah
throat.
was at that party.
Sarah was at the party. There's a cut on my throat, and there's like bruises around my neck. The lady from Ramble On came and did Zulai's makeup. She gave me a little throat cut and some bruises on my neck.
That sounds more creative than the
So
band.
Sarah went out without you, huh, Doug?
I wasn't here.
Well, Doug was not here.
Oh yeah,
I was out of town.
I know you enjoy your downtime. We were
I
just
was-
talking about that.
I was playing in high professional athletics in Georgia. We'll
Check
talk.
it out. This guy says to me dead seriously, he's like, can I ask you a personal question? I'm like,
No.
well, that would depend how personal. But what do you got? And he said, what happened to your neck?
You didn't get the
By the way,
note?
this is a Halloween party,
I mean,
bro.
that's
Everybody's
very-
dead.
That's very weird.
I said, bro, nothing happened to my neck. The makeup artist happened to my neck.
That is really weird.
But I'm glad.
What was
how,
he wearing? by the way?
Clearly,
He
it
was.
good makeup
He
if
was.
thought it
Yeah,
was
I mean, he thought the bruises were. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking.
What was he wearing though? That
He was wearing some form of a disco costume, whatever it was.
maybe he was trying to be funny.
No, I smell funny. I even when it's not
You
funny.
do smell funny. You set yourself up.
I really walked right into that
You
one.
stink.
But I'm glad Halloween's over. So we're on. We're
All right,
on. to the
Dillon,
next.
did you-
But
did you
before
dress up?
before we
I want to borrow your kid. I'll take your kid trick or treating because I love it.
where? No, I liked it. I just
I'll
think
take
next-
her to Malibu, which
but
is
it's
a little
it's over, Kevin.
Yeah, it's over.
No,
You
I
missed it.
mean,
Real weird. Dylan's gonna go on Tuesday, like, hey, knocking on people's doors.
Yeah,
like,
what kind of leftover candy? What
Johnny
kind of leftover
Drama's
candy?
got
Yeah.
fucking
I'll
bananas.
smash
It's
your
November
pumpkin
8th.
if you don't give me something good.
You know, people listening, whenever we get together, we always have to try to like stop ourselves because we start talking about stuff that we feel would be good on the pod.
Yeah.
But we were talking about
Downtime.
alone time.
Yes.
Alone time. And
I
what it-
love my alone time.
and what it means to men.
Yeah.
Kevin, how do you feel about your alone time?
Well, I love it. I love it. You know, kick back. What? Could put the AC on for a change instead of sweating my balls off all the time. I mean, it's nice.
I mean, this is a conversation that will get us all in trouble,
Right.
sadly.
But
Although
let's-
not Dylan, because none of his family listens.
But
to
if
this,
we stick together,
watch
Yeah,
whatever.
we're
we're
stick
all,
together.
if we're
If we're
all
all-
stick together.
if
It's
we're
for
all
the
on the
podcast.
same page about our alone time,
Yeah, it's the funniest thing because
Yes.
when Sarah's like, she'll go, do you mind if I go out to dinner Thursday night? And I jump a little too quickly.
Oh, by the
Doug's
way,
like,
yeah,
do I
same
mind?
dinner.
Yeah,
No!
Are you kidding?
And by the
Enjoy
way,
yourself.
the funny thing is, and whatever, hopefully our audience is a little younger than us, but like, I think Sarah, we're in 4 years now, but like early on in the relationship, she didn't really understand that I'm like, I'm not that interested in doing anything. So there is
she understands that now.
But
She
like,
didn't
oh yeah,
understand it
for
then.
sure. But she didn't need to worry about like, oh, I was, if I got my alone night, I was going to do a boys' night. I've never done that. I've never been like the guy for the boys' night. But when she says, do you care if I go out? All I do is think about, wow, I guess.
The first thing he does is he runs to his computer, cranks up the volume, and throws some porn.
Throws the porn.
That's the first thing he does. Go rub one out.
Doug airdrops his porn to the 85-inch television in the living room.
I'm like, okay, great. I don't have to hide in the bathroom with the mini iPad. No. I mean,
Comes back like, oh, I forgot something.
it's honestly, it's so sad because when I just get like a little like one night alone, I just go, all right. Edibles and Sports Center. Have you ever watched like 3 hours in a row of Sports Center and then you realize you're watching? It's the same thing.
and you watch the loop.
Yeah. Like, wait a second, I already heard this. What's going on? Yeah, no.
And then she comes home though, and it's like, "Oh, how was your night?" Like she's mad, like like I'm like,
She wanted you to miss her more, I guess.
Yeah, or Zula was saying about Kennedy. Like, so how'd I go with Kennedy? In what capacity? She ate, got a bath, and she went to
pooped.
sleep. And she went to sleep. And no, there was no house fire. There was no, we made it through the night. But we do love our alone time. Not that we don't. It's just nice.
Yeah.
Because Zulai's a big volume person. When we watch a movie, she has to have the remote control in her hand.
Really?
Well,
That
she
would
goes
be a
up and
battle
down.
with me, man.
volume, temperature in the house.
Right.
It's all things. You know, I had an ex who told me once. I said, like, I've looked up my personality and like it's important psychologically for me to have some alone time. And she said, you get your alone time when you're asleep.
You can
True
be
story.
alone when you're asleep.
True story.
That is not a codependent
Only
statement
time.
at all.
Yeah. Do you
pretty
guys? I mean, actually, Dillon, and this is not judging you. I think Connolly used to be more like this. Maybe you still are. I'm like, I was never, and I have great friends. My best friends are still from kindergarten, but they know. Every year, those guys who are all married, they're like, Vegas on, and I always do the same thing, like, because it starts, like, the planning starts 9-10 months out, and I'll be like, yeah, that sounds awesome. There's 0% chance I'm going. I'm not that guy. I'm just like, I don't like the guy trips. I like the pickleball trips, but I'm just not into it, So do you
Smaller
like
is
Dillon
better
still?
with
Are you
those.
still like a 7-guy group?
No.
No,
Let's go out.
Dillon's not a
No.
7. Dillon's not a 7 guy.
It's got to be 4. No more than 4.
Yeah. But you're
Anything above 4 is
Now you
really
got to take separate cars.
you're
and
asking
it's
for
But
trouble.
are you
Right.
excited about? I don't know. And I'm
No,
not judging.
Dillon is a good wingman. That's Dillon's ideal situation. Him and one good wingman.
Yeah.
Yes.
But wingman is if you're looking for women.
No, not necessarily.
Just like-
Wingman is like a guy that can handle himself socially, out and about. Can just whatever. Somebody that brings something to the table. It's not wingman is not
I
necessarily.
would not be a good wingman. I'm
You would be. Well,
You would be a good wingman.
no,
I
he
don't
wouldn't
like
because
people.
he wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dillon, you and I were always great wingmen for each other.
Yeah, when we did the those
endless.
nightclub appearances,
There's very few.
Endless.
we had a
places-
good time, right? We
Oh,
actually
yeah.
we were like a tag team.
Yeah. Ew.
Ew.
So gross,
Ew, that's
dude.
gross.
You guys
You're
cross
so-
swords.
And I'm like, all right, I'm going to take
Creeps.
10 minutes off, Kev. You go take care of the.
I just, like I went, I got to live like one of my dreams and basically pretend I was a professional athlete. this
Yeah,
week.
why don't you let me lead this one, Doug?
Okay.
Because I believe I owe you. An
apology?
Not an apology. I don't know that an apology is.
He's
So
like
Doug-
Fonzie. He
Doug-
cannot say
he
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
believe in you.
No, not like honestly. It's
I
not,
believed in
it's
you.
not.
I said
no,
you were gonna do
this
good.
is Kev. You watch this. This is not belief. So for everybody out there, Doug is leaving to go play in a pickleball. I guess it was for charity, and I know it was for a good cause, but that didn't feel like a charity event.
No, I mean,
to me.
it was Danny Werfel, former Heisman Trophy
Right.
winners charity, and it was a charity event, but everyone
Just
was competitive.
felt like
Wow.
it wasn't like we go to these golf tournaments.
There were no bad teams. I mean, there was.
Well, of course there were. There were some better than others, but like the level of competition was real deal, and there were people out there that were trying to win. So we get the YouTube link. So we come into the office and we fire up the YouTube link, and
Ready to make fun of me.
I'm ready to not know what to expect. All right, and by the time Doug, so they're airing different games and then but on this corner you're tracking. It's like what was your partner's name again?
West Burrows.
So it was Ellen and
Professional
Burrows.
pickleball
Like
player.
it would pop up in the corner screen. Ellen and Burrows 1-0. Ellen and Burrows 2-0. Ellen and Burrows 3-0. Ellen and Burrows 4-0.
Wow. How many matches are
They
there?
played
ended up
6. They
6
played
or
6.
7?
No, you guys
Six.
are 5. You guys are 5-1. So then the 5th game is on TV. So now it's in there in the office, and we're like, dude, we were into it. Honestly, it is one of the coolest things I've ever seen a friend do.
Wow.
And can I give a little color
That's
though,
how.
to my
That's
match?
how. That's how well done.
I want to give a little color to my match.
It was
though.
strange
And
because
you've seen me golf, so I'm shocked.
I'm saying like you have your friends that you know that are athletes, but it was just different. It was weird. Not weird. I don't mean that way. It was just
You weren't
surreal
expecting.
to see Doug
Yeah.
compete on this level. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And we're like screaming at. We were into it, bro. We're screaming at the TV. Wow. Yeah, it was.
And I just want to say, with absolutely no excuses, after 3-0 match, where our opponent, and I won't say his name because he's my friend and he'll be mad at me, but our opponent literally threw up during the match. Like, I mean, it was 85, high humidity. He probably had a couple of drinks the night before. He was the pro and played Division I tennis. And by the time I got to the 4th match, my watch had already said I've closed all my rings for the day. So my partner, who's a professional pickleball player and just a super athlete, he looks at me as we're 3-0 and walking to, I think, center court now, where it's going to be
on TV.
I guess I was going to say televised.
Well,
but
it was televised, but it was a high end stream, is what I'm saying. It's like it
But
was.
you know what Wes says to me? He goes, the only way we don't win this thing is if your conditioning does not hold up. Now I'm already not holding up. I'm already like, wow, I can barely breathe. This is like serious shit. But then, so all I was saying is, and I felt great about my performance, but by the time I got to center court where it was going to be televised, I'd already played 4 matches and was exhausted in a day.
in a couple hours.
Yeah. So I
a
did.
couple hours.
My watch told me for the day I burned almost 3,000 calories.
Yo, Doug's watch thought he got in a car accident. Didn't it? Didn't it send some kind of
said-
a
Like
weird
his-
thing?
your heart rate was going.
Yeah,
so
like
fast?
the watch will protect you from like in a car accident.
Well, it won't protect you, but
won't
it'll-
right,
it'll
it's-
call
It's not
911.
an airbag,
Yeah.
but it says it basically says is everything okay. Doug's Apple
So
Watch
you were
is-
nervous too, right? I mean,
Well, I was nervous. Also, once I walk onto that center court, they're like, "You're going to be mic'd up," and I know what my breathing already sounds like. I'm like, "This is." I go,
you
guys,
did sound like an
It's going to
animal."
sound like Dillon when the girl goes out of town and he gets the porn on. I mean, I was just like,
Sounded like Dillon's house on Halloween
You
night.
sound like you're having orgasms when you play pickleball. Every shot, you see Doug is like, oh,
It really is. My buddy Geyer,
He
like
really was.
I sent him the video. He goes, you got to stop with the grunting.
Scotty said Doug's a grunter, huh? I was like, I think Doug's just tired.
It really was not that I'm a grunter. I really was having trouble breathing in between points. I actually told my partner in the middle of our semifinal match, which I believe we could win. And let me just say, Kyle Yates is the pro on the other side. Danny Werfel, Heisman Trophy winner, who's not even sweating, who's in just like ridiculous shape. And I looked at him in the middle of the match. I'm like, I think we could win this one, but I'm not sure I can play another one after this. So I shouldn't have said that to him because I think it might have taken our competitive edge away.
I couldn't believe how good it was, bro.
It was fun, and you guys see how this sport is now suddenly exploding. It's pretty wild.
Well, it's funny too because the earlier matches, which were all good, obviously better than any of us, obviously, but the level of competition jumped up in those semifinals, and it was.
But let's, there's been a lot of chatter. I get a lot of messages about stock tip nowadays. People, and by the way, I want to say to the people out there, Dave is sensitive. Dave does not want to be in the limelight with negativity coming at him.
Well, he wants to be in the limelight just with positivity.
Yeah, but, and I told him because a couple of people said some negative shit, and I said, Dave, you're doing something right. Trust me, if you want to look at the messages I get. But, Dave, we do have to jump in again because Dave apparently, he saw one of the players who's excellent for his age, but this is a pro-am, and Rick Barry, who is still on the top 50 all-time NBA players list, was playing in it. So he's confessed to me that he said something to you while you guys were watching at the office when he saw Rick Barry, that as if, what kind
he
of
said he made multiple comments. I asked him to not to cease the
and
comments.
desist.
What did he say about Rick Barry?
He's like, oh yeah, well, big deal. Doug's about to beat a 75-year-old man. Right?
78.
So I just kind of first gave him the look. I was like, Dave, don't be a hater, whatever. And then the second time I gave him a look, and then
You're better than that, bro.
and
Don't
then-
be that
and
guy.
then-
Don't
and
be
then-
that guy.
And Dave was also mad about something else. Who knows what else he's mad about? But
But-
Kira pops in and goes, well, what's all the excitement about? He's like, oh, excitement. Doug's about to beat up on a 75-year-old man in pickleball. So
by the
I
way-
asked Dave to leave the room because we were so zoned in on it. We were into it. Bro.
All right, so
it was
but-
like, Kevin, it was like a Yankee game. In
So,
here.
but
we were
Rick
yelling
Barry,
at the
Rick
TV.
Barry
Oh,
is.
man, I wish I was here.
Rick Barry is excellent, but they came in like, I don't know, 8th place. They weren't like.
He's also 6'5", and you can only hope to God you look anything like that at his age.
But also,
And he was the M.
first of all, he's the amateur. He's excellent. He's got the highest. I think he's got him and Steph Curry are 1-2 for highest free throw percentage and whatever. But the point is,
Throwing under
He went underhand, right? Yeah.
Yeah. My
I met his
difference,
son.
my difference in age to Rick Barry is about the same as my difference in age to the pros that I was playing.
You don't
got to
explain yourself to me, bro. I love
Thank
the
you.
performance.
And you know what? I think this has changed Connolly and I's relationship.
No, and then
He finally has respect for you.
But I had to fire off a warning shot to Doug because they give you, Kev, like a golf handicap. You get pickleball scores, right? So you have a rating for pickleball. And I've heard Doug talk a lot about pickleball. Never heard a word about rating. Never heard a word about a rating. So they start talking about ratings at this thing, and now Doug is now in Miami, right? He's got like 10, and he's like talking to the camera, and he's
ridiculous.
like,
This
then
story's
he's
ridiculous.
like, yo, if anybody with a 4.6 rating or better want to come play a little pickleball, hit me up. But you got to be at least a 4.5 or a 4.6. I said, call him. I said, Doug, listen, bro. You got me on your side for the first time ever. Don't ruin it, bro.
I gotta say,
Don't
two
ruin
things
it.
about his story which are completely like biased and untrue. Number one, so it's Duper is the rating system. I've never played in a.
Did you have it before this?
I
or
had
no?
I had no rating, even though they somehow gave me one. I played one tournament 5 years ago, but we did very well. But with the guy who's now
Point is that now he's Johnny Ratings guy. And
no,
it's
but
like,
wait, let me just finish. 1, 2, or 3 guy, Riley Newman, he asked me to go with him to Kansas City 5 years ago. He's now legitimately top 3 in the country in this sport. I said, you want me as a partner? Anyway, we were 4-3. That was 5 years ago. That's the only time I played in a tournament. So I have no rating, but somehow they put up a rating and they gave me like a 4.4, which I think is low. But the point is, and what I was saying on this Instagram message, which I said nothing compared to what Colin. All I said is, hey, anyone wants to play that's modern.
You gotta be at least a 4'7", bro, because I don't know if
It's
you
not
saw the YouTube thing, but I'm fucking ripping it up now. I'm like, I'll be a 5 by the end of the year.
They gave you a 4.4, but then you went up. Right?
He's got. Well, it takes a month.
It's going to take a month, and it'll be interesting to see since we were 5-1.
What is the top rank?
Like my partner, 10? No, it's I don't think you can even make it to 7. But my partner was like a 6. Wes is like a 6'3" or 6'3". I'll never, ever get to that. That's like professional.
But just don't call me unless you're.
But what I was doing, which I want you guys to get into this sport,
corny,
I got in an Uber at 5:45 in the morning to go to Fort Lauderdale to play with strangers. And the truth about pickleball is it's this game that has the most delusional people in the world. Everybody thinks they're great. And
it's like a golf handicap.
I'm aware of my level, and I don't want to drive 45 minutes and pay $150 in an Uber and end up playing with guys that can't, I don't want to end up with Stock Tip Dave on the court. I just don't. I also don't want to end up with guys that are way too good for me. So I just said moderately high level. You're making me sound bad.
I don't know. We could also go back and review that one if we want.
We should play. Let's do it. Where can we play?
See, Dillon already is convinced he's going to win.
No, I'm not going to beat you.
Yeah. I'm going to beat you with my phone.
I will
Dillon.
Once I play for about a week. I'll stop beating Doug. 1 week.
So, all right. Well, anyway, pickleball, everyone should get into it, and we'll come back with season
4, episode 5, The Dream Team. All right, we're back. Season 4, episode 5.
Wow, not even
The
water
Dream
break.
Team.
This guy's a slave driver. So I know you guys don't know how quickly that was, but we took no break.
Because I think we got a good flow going.
I thought I could stretch here.
Yeah, you don't need to stretch. This isn't pickleball, right? You can only stretch if you're a 4.6 or better.
All right, let's get into this episode, Kev. Right. What do you got to say about it?
All right. So I think we hold off on the Dillon storyline because I feel like it's controversial. I feel like I like the Dillon storyline better than you guys. But I felt some eye rolling going on. So that's going to be some interesting stuff about Dillon. But so the episode opens with us walking through Barney's dramas, trying to figure out how to look cool for the new season of 5 Towns.
It was weird when walk and talk.
It was weird when it started because I didn't even know what we were watching. It's so strange how, I guess because I was so obsessive season 1, 2, 3 maybe, but I thought it was the Playboy Mansion episode because I know that starts in Barney's and you guys were all walking through.
We've done a couple of walk and talks in Barney's.
And Barney's, which no longer exists, correct?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I mean, Barney's was A, such a great location, B, such a great store, and we ended up shooting in that restaurant too, which I used to eat at like 3 days a week.
But Drama's trying to get cool clothes for the new season.
Yeah.
And Vince and E are going to meet Billy Walsh at Barney's had a restaurant.
Yes.
Right? That was attached to it, a high-end.
Yeah, Fred. It wasn't called Fred's, although it's Fred's in New York.
High-end, kind of not snobby, but you know what I
mean?
It
wasn't even that high-end snobby, but because it was so close to the agencies, like in William Morris.
It's great. It's a walking distance.
All the agents used to eat there. And, yeah.
So even though Walsh and E get into a fight because the trailer has been leaked, we're going to talk about leaked trailers, but that's based on a real story that happened in that restaurant?
Yes.
All right, so tell us that story.
Very close friend of mine, which I won't mention his name, I guess, because I don't. It's fair,
there's no reason to mention.
But he honestly, like that restaurant was, if you wanted to make a scene and it go around Hollywood quickly, you would do it there because
like at lunch.
Yes.
If you make a scene, it'll be everywhere.
Yeah, and it was also like, I mean, it's pretty tight quarters, so everybody is like arm in arm. So my friend, I don't know if I should get into the whole story, but
into the story, but just don't say his name. It doesn't matter.
I mean, he hired a PI because he thought his
wife was having an affair. Turns out that he was correct.
It turns out he's correct, and he sees the guy at the restaurant, walks by him, and just fucking blasts him in the head.
By the way, basically at that table where we shot.
So even though the storyline has nothing to do with that storyline, I was inspired to put it in that restaurant, to have a fight go on in that restaurant, and
because it would spread. Word would spread if something like that
even though
happen.
I don't even know if we use that, like it doesn't spread. Nobody talks about the spread of that fight, which
That's
it really
true.
would.
Well,
like that would be almost as big as the leak of the trailer.
The spread of the trailer. So the trailer gets leaked. E's the only one with the copy. Again, it's crazy. I don't know what happens. I don't know if E...
After this?
Who released it? I mean, they never said who released it.
Do you remember who released it?
No idea.
So they haven't.
I was thinking Billy Walsh did it himself,
but nobody knows. They don't explain it.
Well, I think we're going to find out. I'm guessing we're going to find out in the next episode. Hopefully,
do we?
At least. But the trailer gets leaked, and it's a disaster. But it turns out to be a good thing because everybody likes the trailer.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Even though in real life, They didn't like the trailer.
They didn't like the trailer.
It's so weird.
But that leads to the Ari and Lloyd storyline, which I actually
The fight was great, though.
yeah.
You and
Yeah, and we had the
Walsh fight. Awesome.
Snoop Dogg cameo, which was
Snoop Dogg cameo, which is cool.
Strange, right? Kind of.
Yeah, but it's just cool.
Right.
Yeah, but it's cool to get him. And these guys were fans of the show, and we're obviously huge fans of his. So to get him on the show, and we didn't give him much to do, but we kind of put him in the story that
he
knows about the
up.
trailer,
Right, exactly.
and he was great on the set.
He saw the trailer that it got leaked and whatever. Yeah. So the trailer now was kicking up some momentum for Vince. Is that what's happened? The trailer's kicking up some momentum, and he wants to go. I don't remember this movie. What is it? What was the movie?
Walk in the Clouds?
Walk in the Clouds? The fuck was Walk in the Clouds?
I don't know.
You don't.
I
That
don't
just
know.
came out of nowhere.
I was just. It
It's
doesn't
like a
burn.
camper who gets lost in the
It's like a Mount Everest
the
movie,
woods or something.
right?
Yeah, it sounded like Everest, but
Oh, Annapurna. Mount Annapurna. That's what it was. That's
but
what
wasn't didn't Bertolucci do a movie with Keanu called Walk in the Clouds? Or something like that.
So I have no idea. It's that movie title that dropped out of nowhere. I know we don't end up doing it, I'm assuming. But Heath Ledger has the role, and Heath Ledger is repped by no other than Josh Weinstein.
It's all so ridiculous. I mean, and it's sad watching this and thinking that Heath Ledger's now been dead for years.
I know.
When we wrote that, he's the biggest.
Yeah, Ari was scared. Ari was scared.
I mean, this is not only the biggest star, but also the guy that everyone thinks is one of the best actors on the planet.
right,
So.
right. But is that possible? But Ari and Lloyd launch a counterattack,
Sabotage,
a sabotage attack. That based on anything?
Oh, I mean, it was based on a lot of things. And I don't know if we wrote the greatest version of how you sabotage someone in a movie, but it was definitely playing on Ari's ability to play on Josh Weinstein's insecurities and then some of the other stuff that you can discuss with Dillon and whatever,
What are you
Well,
talking
just how they talk him out of the movie as if,
They say the character's going to be gay. You don't
yeah,
want,
it's like,
he should be gay, playing gay twice.
Yeah.
Right.
Back-to-back movies.
which the movie,
And Lloyd goes, "Oh, Heath and The Rock would make a great couple."
and by the way, there's
What a
nothing.
visual.
There's nothing gay in the script of this movie, and Josh Weinstein is
What does he say? He's like, "What do you mean? What do you do? They're doing? They're using their ass, each other's ass as hand warmers. What do you think they're doing on that mountain?"
Yeah, and I think that feels like a line too that kind of came from, if you remember, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. When remember when Steve Martin and John Candy fall asleep in bed together and they wake up and they're cuddling and John Candy's like, "Where are your hands?" And Steve
Between
Martin's
two
like,
pillows.
"Those aren't pillows."
couple things that jumped out at me. I don't know why. I don't know how this could fall through the cracks, but so I get into that little dust up with Billy Walsh at the restaurant, and then I show up at the Miller Gold Agency, and I have that little rip in my shirt.
Yeah.
It felt kind of false, didn't it?
I liked it. I pointed it out to you, and you're like, "Yeah, I hated that." So
It just felt like, ooh, nice rip where it's not too much to where it's distracting in the scene. It just felt like a convenient little rip.
yeah, you thought. If you get in a fight,
dude,
it's
either
gonna-
I'm coming in there in a T-shirt because
Yeah.
my shirt got ripped off,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, here's this little.
yeah,
perfect
by
little
the way, you
slit
didn't notice it. You
on
didn't
my
notice
shoulder.
this
Oh my
slit.
god! I just noticed
Yeah.
this slit on my shirt.
And also there's a couple of movies when I always think about things, and I know part of it. I wanted to notice if you ever remember 3 O'Clock High.
Of course.
Classic movie, with you were boys with Casey Semenko, weren't you? You know him, don't you? No? All right. Anyway,
Richard Tyson.
Richard Tyson. Anyway, anyone who's not seen this movie, it's a classic movie about a high school movie where there's a fight at 3 o'clock. But the bully grabs Casey Semenko in the bathroom by his sweater, and then for the next 2 scenes, he's walking around. And he's got this.
Crinkled
These
thing of
5
sweater.
fingers actually built into the sweater, which I know they had to do something to make it look that specific, and it was funny.
Yeah, that's how this was. This
Yeah.
rip shirt, and then I go into the store and I buy an identical shirt.
You did?
Yeah, I come out with the exact same shirt, and I don't know.
Wait, when was that? After?
Later on, before. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a weird beat for me. But and then we got to tell this. We got to tell the story about the translucent boy chest. Can we talk about the translucent boy
So
chest?
translucent boy chest, which I actually it makes me feel like I'm stupid now, but the night
You
before,
saying you got it now?
Yeah, it's like a
Right.
pale, non-manly guy,
Right.
right? So Connolly's like, no, so but Piven called me the night before, and it's not that we often had calls where he would say, "I got an idea for the line." But he called me up and he said, "I want to call Connolly."
I want to say that Connolly has a translucent boy chest.
Yeah, and it's weird. I guess I do feel stupid now because I really didn't understand it, which makes me feel it does. It makes me feel extremely dumb right now. It's so obvious what he's saying now, even though I don't think right now I don't think you understand.
No, I mean I got it. I got it then. I don't know if it's really means anything, but I understood.
It means you're pale and don't have a manly chest.
I understood that.
Like Lloyd says in this episode that Heath Ledger has a 44-inch chest. I think Piven was saying you have like an 18-inch chest. Okay, but
translucent boy chest, like you're just like a white, like super,
you're really
super,
pale.
super white, pale.
We can
boy.
see through you.
Right,
and you look
right.
like
That's how you can see. You're so pale and little, we can see through you.
Right.
Basically.
So, but anyway, it was late at night. When I see Piven calls, I'm probably like, oh boy, where are we going with this?
Right.
But he said, I want to add this thing. And honestly, he felt my hesitation, which was not, you guys know, I was never like, we can't change something. I just didn't get it quickly. And he was like,
oh, he got mad.
Oh, he got really mad. He got really mad, like really quickly. And then I'm reactionary. And I got mad.
I just remember coming in the morning and remember hearing rumors of a dust up the night before over translucent boy chest.
So this is over the phone, you guys.
Over the phone.
But it spilled into the next day because Doug's like, do you have any idea what a translucent boy chest is? Do you know what that means? I was like not wanting to get.
You know
in the
what's
middle
so
of
weird about it when I think about it? I think like the way boy chest was combined, I wasn't thinking about your chest or you as a young I don't know. It's so obvious to me when I watch it now. And Piven, you like great line, I think. I don't know.
No, it's fun.
like it. It's
By the way, we've been talking about it for a half hour. But I also and it's weird because you never can say this about Piven. I feel like you got in his head on the line a little bit.
I don't know. I was in my own head on the line because,
Didn't it feel like that a little bit when he delivered that line? Like
There was a breath
There was
in between the line because he had a lot to say.
right.
I think the breath was like, fuck you, Doug. This line is great, and I'm saying it. But
Right.
it was, you know what? Again, I think that I just didn't understand it. And I think what's interesting, and you guys might say this about me, if I say a line to you and you don't react quickly, I might be like, oh, not funny? Well, go fuck yourself. I honestly, I think it's funny. I'm glad it's in there now, but I just didn't understand it at whatever time of night it was, or I didn't understand it quick enough, and I didn't respond in the positive way. So, sensitive artist.
How did you work it out? You said, go ahead, do the line, or
Either I honestly believe like there might have been like a hang up on each other moment.
Yeah,
the night before.
there was super tense, like cold shoulder. These guys not really speaking to each other in the morning, and then Doug was like, "All right, we'll do it, right?" And then I believe we probably did it both ways, and then it ended up in there.
I don't know. Like I said, now when I watch it, it's a standout funny line to me. It is. So we'll give Piven a writing credit. What are you going to do?
That's it. He should get a writing credit. And then line that would not be written in 2022.
there were plenty of them in there.
Yeah. How about this trailer?
Brian Burns is credited with the screenplay, but we love Brian Burns.
Downloaded more than Britney's beaver shot.
That's good.
You know what's weird is
That's funny.
now as a 54-year-old man, and it's funny as shit.
This is childish.
But the
right?
truth is, I'm telling you right now, I don't want to say it's Ari Emanuel. Do you know how many fucking agents I used to sit with who this is how they would talk all the time? And it was done. They're playing a bit. They're trying to be funnier. They're trying to get laughs. But it does feel bizarrely immature when he says it. It's just like,
or when he's talking about Dana Gordon, he's like folding the computer over and like try humping the computer. And again, you guys just said that. But I don't know, Doug. I felt like all in all, and again, this is no disrespect. We're all responsible for this, but I don't know. I feel like you don't think that was a terribly well executed, written. What do you think?
You know what? There's some moments that just, again, I'm not reacting to PC culture. I'm not reacting to anything. I'm just like, there's a couple of lines that just like the like Britney's beaver shot just seemed like absurdly unfunny to me at this moment. I mean, I don't know. Like, by the way, I didn't remember it was coming. I didn't think it was coming. So I'm almost watching this like I have nothing to do with this show. And it just seems like, to me, it seems a little like, where some of those moments feel hilariously funny to me still. And actually the Dana Gordon,
I got videos, I got pictures.
That stuff made me laugh, like in this context. So.
Elvis Mitchell. Who is
Elvis Mitchell, who was a great guy, and we did one of those panels with him where he was the moderator. He was like the New York Times TV critic or film critic, I believe, actually.
And he also would do, so he was interviewing the guys that did Medellin for a
Yeah.
story about
Yeah.
guys from New York.
And Elvis was awesome. And Elvis was, I think, one of the early podcast adapters.
Is that true?
I believe so. And he was such a good guy and was awesome to come on. And
But he sits down to interview. This is right after Walsh and I have had this fight.
Yeah.
And he's like, Vinny, that little cunt sucker punched me. That's the bitch move of the century, or whatever it is. Now we go, and this is the first time we see Suit Suck. This was the intro of the
That's it,
Suit
right?
Suck T-shirt.
Yeah, and the tattoo. I mean, they're two. That's why I say there's
The
some
reveal of the tattoo is great.
There's some
When he
moments in
pulls
this that I love, and then like that.
Right, like Reese is, again, great. Like,
Yeah.
his stuff is amazing.
It's great.
Yeah. And by the way, Connolly, no, not for anything. Connolly, we've talked about this before. Guy's a fucking scrapper. He's no fucking not a tough guy. Reese looks just huge next to you.
I
This would
know.
be an uncomfortable.
mean-
on its surface, would be an uncomfortable fight. This would be something they would do like in the Gladiator
Yeah, I
days, as like a fucking
That would take a bunch of vodka sodas.
like he
It's not one I go
He
at
just
sober.
looks so long.
Right,
like,
I don't.
there's just-
It's not one that I choose. That's for sure. That's like emergency,
lanky.
emergency only. But yeah. By the way,
What's
takes
the
a
line too? He goes, "I'm sorry, Vince, but I hate that fucking guy."
No.
Well, a couple things. He's like, you know. Vince goes, Elvis. Perhaps he gets the least credit of all. Has the hardest job with the least credit. And Walsh is like, yeah, well, he's little, so he doesn't need as much credit.
It's normal people. It's regular
As
size
much
people.
credit as normal people. There's like a few shots in there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But then when we go outside, the funny thing is, the thing that sets him off at the valet is that I called him a hack. So I call him a million things, and I call him a hack, and he snaps and he rips his shirt off, and we get Vince and E are driving away in the car, and Reese goes, "Don't be mad at me, Vinny. I just hate him. I hate him." But Reese turns in another fucking stellar performance. Introduces the Suit Suck shirt. I got to tell a story. This might seem gossipy, but it did happen. It did happen. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. Yeah?
Go for
Okay,
it.
I feel bad because he was so good. Elvis Mitchell was very good to us. Right? But Elvis Mitchell, didn't he get criticized about, wasn't there something about Elvis Mitchell where he reviewed a movie that he hadn't seen and he took a bunch of heat for it? Do you
I don't.
remember this?
I remember there was something, but I don't remember what it was.
I think it was something like that. It
He
was,
reviewed a movie he hadn't seen.
or I shouldn't say he hadn't seen it, but whatever it was, he got sort of tripped up talking about something that didn't make any sense, is my understanding.
I don't remember,
And he took a lot of heat for it.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy. But then when we did our panel, don't think that Piven was aware of that situation. And Piven is like, "Oh, this guy, he hasn't even seen the show," or something like that. Not referencing
Yeah.
the other situation,
Yeah.
because Piven didn't have
But he
any
didn't
idea.
call him a translucent boy.
No, he didn't say he had a translucent boy chest. But Piven was like, making a joke about him not watching Entourage. And it was like a super sensitive thing for Elvis. And you don't remember this?
No.
It was a big one, too.
No.
Was that like
but as
the-
long as we're on it, just for real quick, and I know I need to say this to all the thing, I don't care. Like people go, don't let the haters bother you and this and that. I don't care. But yesterday, because a lot of people who follow me like to send me shit that people say that's negative. But yesterday in the New York Times, this fucking hack, he writes this article about this guy, John Coblin. And I wish everybody.
What is the article about?
It's why HBO didn't have more women shows early on, which fine, whatever. Like write your article. But I just want to say this as quickly as everybody, if you really care about us, I want you to follow this guy on Twitter and say some shit to him. But anyway, this guy writes a whole article and then he writes, they started making some female shows like Sex and the City. Then they go backwards and he writes Mind of the Married Man. He quotes an Entertainment Weekly review that says how bad Mind of the Married Man is, which I'm not going to judge. And then he goes, the bro show Entourage about these men on the loose. And I just want to say to this guy, again, this is not sensitive, but I want people to understand rewriting history and culture is disgusting. So the New York Times in 2003, Alessandra Stanley, who was the female reporter for the New York Times, said we were the smartest show on television. In 2004, the New York Times put us #1 on the list
So
of
what
best
did
shows.
this guy say that hurt your feelings?
It didn't hurt my feelings.
But-
He's a
or has
liar.
you- but-
No, because what he
He
should have
said
said
bro
is,
show, guys.
yeah, but he
gone
can
loose.
say,
I mean,
but he can say I don't like it. He could say anything. But when he's quoting us and putting us in lock and step with Mind of the Married Man, he said, the New York Times wrote that this show was the smartest show on television. So I just find the thing about cancel culture that's scary is when they write articles like that, and people who are, decent writers, they can write it in a way that people who've never heard of Entourage, you pick up the New York Times and you read that and you go, oh, it's some piece of shit show about men on the loose. But no, we were the show that the New York Times said was the best show on TV. So just all I want to say is to John Copeland, just do your proper homework. Go, I don't like it, which is your right, and I don't like him, so that's my right.
Yeah.
That's it.
You don't like anybody.
No, I like you guys.
I like him less. I didn't like him before, but
Copeland or me?
Copeland.
Yeah.
Copeland.
Fuck
I don't know who
Copeland.
he
Men
is.
on the loose, you fucking hack.
I don't think that. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? I mean,
The-
we're
the
not
review-
men on the loose.
the re-
Dillon was a man on the loose.
Believe me, he was writing it as an article that HBO stepped so far backwards with our 6-time Emmy-nominated show,
Men on the
BAFTA-winning,
Loose.
Peabody
By the way, that
Award-winning.
could have been a good. That'd been a good alternate title.
Men on the loose.
All right, now let's get to the bulk of this episode, or the
Not the bulk.
not the bulk. No, it wasn't.
This was the B storyline.
Dillon and his hat.
And it really
was-
felt like a B storyline this time.
I
It's
know
like,
that, but this is the one that jumped out at me the
You know
most
what?
because Dillon, you saved the day here with your performance.
Well, thank you, Kev. I appreciate that. There was some great stuff. The walking onto the set with the hat. That was a cool shot.
But
there was
Kev,
some cool stuff that was there. People loved it. They really did. But
one thing about Kev, he's got a very specific idea. Like he knows when he gets the script, he goes, "Yeah, I can. Let's fucking go. This one's game on." And then when he's not feeling it, he's not feeling it, right? So I don't know if you remember. So you flagged that in the script. You're like, "What is this?"
yeah,
man? What
I
is
felt
this?
like it was the storyline was a little dumb. No, sorry, Doug, but I,
Right.
Look,
I
I-
want to get a hat, but it actually worked. It fucking worked. So
I
was
think
wrong.
I think
Well, you
most of
made
it
it
works
work.
because of
You
Dillon.
made it work, of
Yeah, I
course.
really do. I think you made it work because you're so committed and so funny. By the way, just quick shout out, Albano's, which the guys go to early on. That was one of the best pizza places in LA at the time, and it's no longer there. But and he, Albano himself was a friend and is a friend. So
Well, I think he passed away.
no.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you've been around. You haven't been around too long. You don't go
I don't
down.
know. Maybe you don't know.
You don't go down there anymore. They didn't tell you. All right, but so do you remember anything about Dillon
No.
flagging the storyline early on?
No.
I would usually call you and
Yeah.
start complaining about
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah, I don't remember any of it, but it feels like a storyline that Dillon would go, this is so stupid and silly. But you know what? The truth, again, like he makes me laugh. I know there's influences from other things. When he comes out, by the way, looking like Rob Weiss when he's got the glasses on and the leather
got the
jacket.
ear tucked into the hat.
The ear tucked in. And also, it's a very, I know it was kind of our homage because Brian Burns was credited on this script. We loved Can't Buy Me Love. And if you remember the scene where Patrick Dempsey, turns into the cool guy and
He's
starts
walking down
through
the hallway.
halls.
That's kind of exactly exactly what
I mean,
it was.
it's exactly what
Right.
it was.
But so it's again, we mentioned this earlier, but Dillon's coming back for the new season, and he wants to feel like they're not aging out his character, so he wants to kind of keep it young and feel young, and he wants to fit in with the guys.
Yeah.
So, by the way,
this was the episode that got me smoking cigarettes again. I fell back in.
Ooh.
We did so many bong hits, and it was tobacco. It was cigarette tobacco.
That
you
I
guys all
really feel bad
smoked,
about.
and then I remember mooching a cigarette off you guys. I quit again shortly after that, but
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry for that.
No, it's all right.
That
no,
I don't like. That
but
I don't
so he goes and and it's funny because now you just walk into a weed store with your license.
Yeah.
But in
You don't
those
need a
days, you had to go in and say something.
Yeah,
right?
you had
Say
to go
there's
get a
something wrong with
card.
you, and I'm, of course, my character's too physically fit to have nerve damage. I mean, look at me.
But that's the funny thing. The government's involved in this stuff, but anyone could get a card just by saying something. And that's what the comedy of that scene was kind of supposed to be. That Dillon isn't reading that. The guy who, by the way, Bob Balaban. The guy's a great filmmaker, great actor. You might remember him from
Underutilized.
Seinfeld.
Underutilized in this episode.
We just didn't. The scene just didn't
was
pop
slow.
the way it felt like
felt
it should.
slow, right?
And there was another false beat, and this is not for knock on Burns or anybody, but
No.
the-
Well, listen. By the way, let me be crystal clear. All the writers, we're in a room and we're coming up with ideas, and someone's name could be on a script that they didn't write any of, and their name
And
could
vice
not be on a
versa.
script that they wrote a lot of.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But I think the idea that drama. So got to go into the doctor and give an excuse, and the idea that drama would go in and say that he had a bronchial condition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like drama's smarter than that.
Yeah. And this,
Why would you go and you're asking for a license to put
He says
smoke
he's got Legionnaires disease. He doesn't know what it is.
is
so
that
he's just
what it
using
was?
that as a. He's like, I'm
okay.
going to go in here and just improv.
you know what? I got to be honest.
You know what I'm saying?
So
though?
he doesn't know what it is.
I honestly,
He's just like, I'll go with that.
Legionnaires disease, which is a bronchial.
I think what you
Stupid.
just said is the key to why I don't like most of this storyline. It's trying to keep it going with some stupid sitcom-y turns. Drama is smart, and Turtle would tell him how to get his card, and it
Tell him you
feels
get
like
anxiety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
all you got to say, which
Yeah.
is what you guys landed on, that you get anxious.
Yeah, and that's why, by the way, that's why that scene with two fucking amazing actors is boring, because he's trying to convince Dillon, look, I'm just here to get you to say
I can't. Right, you just
something."
got to say it. I
Yeah.
can't give it to you. You have to say it.
And that's like classic sitcom beats. We've seen it 1,000 times. And it doesn't work because I think it's exactly what you just said. Drama, maybe a lot of things. He's not stupid. And
he
I
is
think
not
this
stupid.
story plays him stupid. So.
Yeah, and then he shows up to the set, and then they smoke. Have you ever smoked weed at work? Not like that.
Never.
I've never done a bong hit at work.
Nope.
Jesus.
I've
Don't be
taken a hit.
Don't
No, I
be
haven't.
so angry about it.
The only time I actually even ever drank on the set was the
Was with
St.
Nate?
Patty's Day Massacre because I had to be drunk anyway. But that was the first time. I'm always
Connolly, you're not
One
a big
time-
pot smoker, right?
No, not in real life.
Yeah.
But that's not true. I'm an edible guy, like once in a while, but like
Never at work.
But I'm
Not at work.
No, because I'm like Dillon.
Yeah.
Like drama. Like dude, if I were to smoke weed at work and it would go south,
Yeah.
that would be
yeah.
it would be really bad and could really.
I don't
really,
remember
really
if
affect
you
your
remember this, but
performance.
during the pandemic, I was doing like the Today Show in Australia live on Zoom. And I woke up at 10 a.m. and it was like early on when like depression was setting in and you don't do anything. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pop an edible. And then I get like an alert, email. You're
Right.
doing live television in an hour. Okay. And I got on live television and I remember the broadcaster is talking to me and all of a sudden I was staring at, I think it was a guy. I was staring at it, just staring at his mouth, watching it. And in my head, I start going, I swear to God, this is so awful. I go, don't say anything racist in my head. And then I go, why would you say anything racist? You're not
you
a
start
racist.
having inner dialogue.
Yeah, I go, why would you say anything racist? You're not a racist. And then I'm going,
That's the worst.
but
that's
then
the
I'm
worst
going,
thing.
that's what people say when they say something racist. I'm not normally a racist. So this entire thing is going on while this person is asking me questions. And I'm like, please, for the love of God, somebody get me off of this interview. And when people watched it, I got a lot of messages like, how fucking high were you during
Really?
this? Yes.
You know what? That's not true. And I could say this because I don't think he would mind because it was pretty funny. So in season 7, it was a Friday night. We were at that Encino house, and it was the scene where Adrian is passed out naked at the side of the pool, and Piven and I are in the background of the martini. So we're on camera, I guess theoretically, but we're waiting, and we took a couple hits of a fucking Piven and I.
If you do background.
Piven and I were doing background work, but we were. By the way,
Hey
it
now.
might be one of the best times he and I had together. Like we were laughing because it was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Adrian's naked on the. Like, what happened? What's going on with this show? We have to stand there, grin. And Piven is not one to pull punches when he's like, taking a shot at somebody, especially Grenier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he had a man, translucent boy ass. Basically, is what Piven was saying. Piven had a bunch of. But we. That is probably the one time ever. Because man, it goes.
So
it
did you
goes south.
have to perform it all?
No. We were like literally like in the shot. It's almost like, oh God, we need to be here. Like, oh, you're in the shot.
Since
But,
you brought this up, though, I mean, I have to know. And I think after this, without any bullshit, we put a group chat together, Jerry, Connolly, Dillon, and myself, and we send Adrian a message. He said he wants to do the podcast. Everyone wants
do
him
a group
on.
chat.
Let's do a group chat. Dillon, you just got to throw in some positivity, which I know you do, but you got to just respond that you're active.
throw your thumbs up, or your hang loose Hawaii thing. Dillon's a big.
By the way,
Hawaii,
Dillon's a major emoji.
Do you know what I saw the
That
other
and
day?
a thumbs up.
Dillon is a very big thumbs up guy, which apparently in like millennial circles is a really
I
insulting
saw-
emoji.
by the way,
like
I
you're
s-
basically going, okay, go fuck yourself.
Yo,
you know?
I
Is it?
saw- I saw-
Apparently, not the
I-
older
I
people.
think it's yes. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Instead of
I-
spelling out yes. You
Yeah,
just
I'm with you.
You're 100% right, Kev. That's how they're somehow offended that it's something dismissive about the thumbs up emoji.
Yeah, you're basically going, okay, bro.
Like, whatever, rock on, bro. Rock on, bro. Like, don't talk
So
to
I've
me
been
like
dissing
that.
people all this time.
No, you have not been dissing people. That's just
I am doing this group chat. After this, it's going to be all of us. Should I put Jeremy on too? Ooh.
No. Don't put Jeremy on. I have a question. I have a question for you, both of you guys, actually. So, Doug, like after a game of pickleball, right? Let's say you have a meeting after a game of pickleball.
I have no
right?
meetings,
You
but
got to
yeah.
go from the car,
Yeah.
right? And you got to go right to the meeting,
Yeah.
right? You got to get a mizzen and main shirt.
Are you trying to sell
Put,
something right now?
yeah, I'm trying to say you got to get a mizzen and main shirt. Okay, it's the best shirt. It's an athletic shirt. You put it in your car. It's fantastic. It's got this new stretchy. It's where you dress. You know how they get stiff and the starch and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
right?
they don't change these shirts.
No, you dread wearing those dress shirts, but these guys have this new material. All right. You got to get mizzen and main. The fabric, you got to check it out. The inventors of the performance fabric dress T-shirt. All right. Nothing worse than being uncomfortable. Mizzen and main agrees with that, and that's why they made the lightweight, breathable, moisture wick dress shirt that you can buy.
All right, so you're really going into a
No, I'm not
commercial.
done yet. Now listen
Okay.
to this, because I want to ask you this, right? So this also dress shirts, machine washable.
Yeah.
How good is it to
I
have
can
a
give you
machine
personal experiences with Mizzen and
washable
Main.
dress shirt, right? 100%.
Yeah.
And no dry cleaners, which cost $1 gazillion and nobody wants to do it. What's your
So I don't
story?
even. I have no idea if he's still involved with it. But J.J. Watt sent me a bunch of Mizzen and Main.
He loves Mizzen and Main, right?
But no, I think he was an investor or whatever. But anyway, what they are is they don't, you don't get wrinkles, you don't get anything, and I could literally play pickleball in one of these shirts and then go to a meeting aside from my smell,
Right, you'll
which would not be
stink.
the blame of the shirt.
You'll
But the
stink.
shirt would look fabulous. Yeah.
Right, it's true. And listen, for me, every time I get a nice shirt, I wear it, and then it gets rolled up in a ball to go to the dry cleaners, and it never makes it there.
Yeah, this
so
will
if you
not
can
matter.
wash it, if you can take it and wash it, and
It's
then
a game changer.
It's
no
a game
doubt.
changer.
Yeah.
But you
For
could
me.
also, for a guy like Dillon, you could pull it out of a ball like in Connolly's closet and head right to Chick-fil-A, and you look phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
All right, well, so and that said, if you want the best damn dress shirts that money can buy, check out Mizzen and Main. Right now, if you go to mizzenandmain.com and use promo code VICTORY.
Victory.
Victory, right, Kev?
Victory.
You'll receive 35% off any regular price order of $125 or more, plus free shipping on orders of $100 or more, and free returns. That's $35 off when you go to MIZZENANDMAIN.com and use the promo code.
Victory.
By the way, I just want to know from the audience if they felt that Connolly integrated that ad organically or not. That's all.
Well, I really do think about it. One of the things, again, we're off Mizzen and we're off Mizzen
like
and
you
Main,
did your job.
But I do have a problem with shirts that have to I have to take to the dry.
I don't
Yeah,
even
you might as
care
well
about
just throw 'em
laundry
out.
anymore, by the way.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
It's like once every couple months, like you go in an emergency, but to have a dress shirt that you
I'm
can
just
wash.
over
That's a great
dressing,
call.
by the way.
Hang 'em
I
up.
love it. I love it.
I'm really into
Mizzen
the
and
whole.
Main.
I'm into the whole casual world now of just. I don't care anymore. I wear the same outfits almost like every day.
I'm thinking about just getting everything in black.
Yeah.
Just yeah, it's a pain in the ass putting stuff on. Just get everything in black.
I'm too tired to
You
dress
Get
up
out of the
anymore.
house quick. Look at us. We're all in black. All three of us.
I realized that. I was a great dresser when I was on Entourage. Why? Because we had free
Yeah.
clothes,
Yeah.
free suits.
I don't
Like, we
buy
got a bunch of
anything
stuff.
anymore.
I don't
but
know what to buy.
Seinfeld used to have, not used to have. There was a great episode where George wears sweatpants and Seinfeld just looks at him and goes, "You know what sweatpants say?" And he's like, "What?" He goes, "I've given up." Okay, and it's crazy to think 20 years later, I wear sweats. These are James Purse. They're not cheap sweats, but they're. I wear sweats at least 27 days of the month, at least, and I'm proud of it. I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you though, Kev. You get a bunch of black T-shirts,
Yeah.
a couple blue T-shirts, get some jeans that fit, a couple jackets. You mix it up. But like, what do you get? Where are you gonna go?
Warren Buffett wears the same outfit every day. He doesn't have to waste any time. He just goes to the closet, grabs the same stuff every day.
Zuckerberg. Do you know what they say that about super rich and wealthy people? It's one less thing that they have to worry about. I don't know if there's anything to that.
Well, listen, I think the
Yeah,
three of us
it's
have
so
time to worry
easy.
about
You
our
can
outfits,
save
but
it.
I just don't want to. I don't want to.
Well, yeah, no, it's just something that unless you have a reason, I don't know. I feel like I used to have a semi decent fashion style, and it seems to have gone by the
Except
wayside.
the white Air Force Ones
somewhere
that
along the line.
somehow you wear every day. And
Yeah, I do
Well,
like
guys,
those.
I might have to cut out early today. I got some ADR.
I don't think
for
it's
Buddy
early.
Games 2.
Oh,
A little,
have you seen it?
Haven't seen it yet.
Additional
so I'm gonna see
dialogue replacement.
Yes.
Replace some dialogue.
Oh, is that what it means? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Additional
I didn't know
dialogue replacement.
ADR, looping. I never knew what it
That's
meant.
really funny.
Yep.
Additional
Are you excited
dialogue.
for that? Do you hate it?
No, I'm excited to see the movie.
But do you
I
like
feel-
doing ADR?
No, I don't like
For people that
Sometimes I'll refuse to do it because you could actually ruin a performance, or sometimes you can make a performance a little bit better too. So
So, but people don't. For people that don't know what ADR is, it's additional dialogue replacement. So Kevin Dillon and I are doing a scene, and Stock Tip Dave lets one rip in the bathroom over my
been known
line.
to do that.
He's been known to do that. I would have to, if it's really on the line, I would have to go in and they would line it up to beat. So we go beep
Yeah.
beep beep, and you replace the line. And to Kevin's point, Kevin, I know you're a gangster. I'm a little bit more of a pushover, but it's a really when you're happy with what you're seeing as an actor,
Yeah.
and then they're asking you to go in there 4 months later and
Yeah.
replace it, it's really a bummer.
Yeah.
It's really a bummer.
And
And
by
a
the
guy
way-
like Kevin,
Sometimes-
guy like Kevin puts his foot down.
yeah, sometimes if you say there's nothing wrong with that, that is fine.
You can live
And
with
there's no
Stock
way
Tip
I'm going to
Dave's
get
fart.
that. I'm not going to get it that good
It's
again.
never going to be that good. Well, and how could it be?
So sometimes you got to let go. I'm not going to do it.
And
Right?
let me
I'm not
be
going to ruin
let
my
me be
performance.
crystal clear. I despise it.
Right.
And I was so adamant, which we had some of the best sound people
We didn't
in this
have a
business.
lot at all.
No, because they were awesome.
An entourage, no.
It
Yeah, no.
never, ever sounds real to me. Never. Like, so when I
By the
hear...
way, sometimes in movies I pick it up. Even
I
good
pick
ones,
it up
I'm like, that's
all
an
the time.
ADR
Oh,
line
I can
for
hear
sure.
it all the time. And it to me, it crushes performances.
But the other thing too, it's to Dillon's point, and that's when you can also get defensive as an actor if you feel like the director's trying to, we're going to clean up that performance in ADR,
Yeah.
and you can do different inflections, and you can actually do different line readings.
Yeah,
And-
I'll sometimes change the performance on it.
Right.
I have
Right.
never
there's-
ever
Punch a line
done an
up or-
ADR line because I thought I could make the acting better. The
Oh,
only
bro,
reason I do it is when my
there's-
sound
most of
guy
the
says
time-
you
Yeah.
can't.
95% of the time, it's worse.
I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but there's some people that claim to have saved performances with ADR.
Well, we know
I don't know how
we know
true
on
that is.
Ramble On we spent because we had a really bad one scene that
Yeah, it was mine, and it
'cause
was
of
my.
Colley's
And by the way, it was
Islander
my
jacket.
Islander jacket, so it was doing.
Yeah,
It was doing this screechy thing on the microphone, and I like to think I'm a better technical actor than I am a regular actor. I know how to technical act. I hit my mark, and I know
yeah.
and I know I'm wearing a microphone.
Yeah.
But they have to flag that and go, hey, this is a problem, or else I'm assuming there's no problem.
But we spent so much time on that scene trying to ADR it and get it right, and at the end of the day, we cut the whole scene.
we cut the whole scene, but you know what? Dude, we didn't do, and this is what I said. I said, not for nothing, but Dillon would have laughed in your face.
Yeah.
Because I happened to be in there with Doug. I wasn't even there. I happened to be in there, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll try to do it. And then I recorded the scene, and then it's in the cut, and I'm like, I hate it.
But the
I hate
truth,
it.
the truth is, the sound was really unusable. It would have sounded like something was really wrong in that scene. Thank
I
God
would
we
like
didn't.
to know that.
Sometimes you got to do it. But,
Right. Yeah.
Well,
ADR.
anyway, I think we covered this. No?
Yeah, that's good.
So-
Yeah. I got to say, I did like my performance in the trailer when I was high. I really looked high.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, I looked like I got baked in that
I
trailer.
think smoking all that tobacco is probably a head rush anyway. you
Yeah,
know?
I think it was. I thought maybe they could have done some trippy kind of camera stuff.
You know
which
what?
they
I was
didn't
thinking
do
that too
I
today.
mean,
Yeah, Brandon
thought they
Williams was
could
in
have
that
been-
scene too. It was one of the biggest real estate brokers in LA now.
But we never were a specialty shot show. I thought the same
yeah,
thing, Kevin.
because I'm so high and I'm looking at everyone,
Right.
and
we
just
it
looking-
didn't look
they're
that
just looking,
freaky.
Didn't
you
look
know?
that trippy.
No.
Yeah.
No, Dillon, you made lemonade, bro. And with if you were 1% less committed, because I have people love that the hat and
Yeah.
thing and the weed.
Yeah.
People love that storyline. I think we three of us can agree it's not our favorite.
No.
But without Dillon delivering that, that's a serious problem.
Does anyone know how long it took to put that Pablo fake tattoo on Reese's back?
He was in the chair for hours.
Because I
know
love that so much.
I know that it was a big job because when I was doing my episode and he had to be shirtless at the pool, I was like, where's his tattoo? And they were like, Kev, we can't. It takes so long. But then they came back after lunch and he had it on. So they were able to get it done, but it was hours
Yeah.
to get the Pablo tattoo. He should have kept it. Reese probably would have kept it.
Should have gotten it permanent.
Reese,
If he had any balls.
I can't believe
Any
Reese didn't have
balls,
any
suit.
tattoos at all. Isn't that weird?
In
Reese is-
real life?
You would think Reese would be covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
He does not have
know
it.
what?
By the way,
Reese
you know what he
is-
has? A translucent boy chest. That's what Reese has. Didn't see exactly his chest popping out in any of those scenes, did you?
I thought. I
mean,
thought he
he's-
looked. I thought he looked
he's
in
in good
great
shape,
shape.
man.
I
He's
was
in good
like,
shape.
I
He
gotta
looks
go to
big-
the gym
he
after
looks
this.
big next to me. He was just skinny. Reese is skinny.
No, he's muscular and he's got a big back. He's long.
He does have a big back.
You guys,
Lats,
you
big
guys,
lats.
you guys in the ring would be phenomenal. By the way,
Oh, that's what he said. Get him in the ring anytime. Can you imagine us in the ring with boxing gloves? The only time I'm fighting Billy Walsh is in a bar when he's not looking. That's about it.
cracking him with a
When
glass.
when he's fucking least expecting it. So,
All right. Well, that wraps up season
4, episode 5. We got to talk because we got Anna Faris coming up, right?
Yeah.
Who I don't know. I can't get a hold of her. She won't respond to me. But we got to get AJ Buckley, who plays the
AJ
crazy
will do
boyfriend.
it, yeah.
We got to get
AJ was genius.
We
in
got
that
to
episode,
get.
too.
We got to have Jerry on for Day Fuckers.
And AJ Buckley is on SEAL team right now, right? Is
Yeah,
that
I'm
what
sure
on with?
he works. He's a great actor.
Yeah,
a great
he's
actor.
awesome. So, all right.
We got some good ones coming up.
Cool.
Victory the podcast.
Victory.